Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to try, for the first time ever, rooting doll hair. Now, I had a little look online for just the simplest guide I could find possible. So I've got a rough idea. I'm going to just try with some of the synthetic hair to begin with, and one of my little test subjects here. Now, the head does come off. Can I get it back on again? I can get it back on again, because one of the instructions it was giving me was to be able to get up on the underside so you can pop a little glue around, because I was wondering how that would stay in. I have scissors, I have some hair, I have my rooting tool. Now, it said to use the pokey one to poke some holes. So let's poke some holes. I'm not going to do them too close together to begin with, because I don't need to. This is just a little attempt. Okay, I've poked loads of holes in the head. Now, I am going to go around and re-poke them as I'm filling them, because the pokey makes a hole quite wide, but then it slowly closes back in on itself, so it doesn't look like... I can see where I've got holes, but it doesn't look like I've put holes at the same time. So I'm going to get this out, the actual rooting tool. Well, we've got 0.6 and 0.8 times 2, so I'm guessing that's the size. So since we're working with a small head, though it's not soft, so should I go with the bigger one? I'm going to try the bigger one. So that end is the flat end that's sort of like forky. Oh, it goes in there snug. Goes too far down. Okay, let's get some hair ready. Well, the end's this side, right? Can I just cut some of this to start off with? I guess we'll find out, right? Now, on the instructions that I saw, it said to poke the hole, start around the outside first. So poke the hole, and then it said to hold the hair like that. I'm going to poke the hole again because it's already shrunk up. And then to just stick it in as far as it'll go. Well, yes, we we have some hair in there. Well, we have hair in there. This is going to be interesting to do. Let's see if I weren't holding that taut enough. Or have I just got too much hair in my hand? I might just have too much hair in my hand. Let's go for a thinner bit. I'll try and keep my head out of the way so you can... Oh, wrong one. Let me not do that. Right, big hole. Hair in hole. Pushed all the way down. Okay, we have more hair in there that time. Right, there's going to be a lot of learning in this. So let's just pick a little, very, very little bit to begin with. Hole in the head. Hair over the hole. Rooting tool. Pushing the hair in the hole until it goes all the way down. Well, I seem to have a really good one in the middle and then two thin ones either side. This is, yeah, not sure. Don't know if I dare, push more hair in one hole. Are you meant to do it more than once? It didn't say to do it more than once. It says to do it like this. Well, we have some hair in the head. We're going to flash forward. Okay, approximately 4 hours of rooting later, we have an acceptable amount of hair on the head. The bigger project that I have is going to take a very, very, very long time. What I'm going to try and do is style this using hot and cold water. Probably won't touch the front bits too much, just try and get something a bit like this. And that down a little bit. I also, whilst I was having a look in line, because the question that I had when I recorded last was, what's to stop that from just coming back out? Well, you put glue on the inside. So that's what I did. I didn't have any fabric glue, so I used my glow-in-the-dark Elmer's glue. So let's pop that there for a second. Since I've done her, I've had an idea that I'm going to roll with. I'm going to turn her into a mermaid. I'm going to have a go at styling that in a second. What I'm going to do is start to modify the body here, because we don't want the legs. Let's be done away with those for now. I'm thinking I'm going to be using polymer clay. So I've got the oven on warming up. I'm thinking of making an armature with this. I'm also thinking these could be the tail fins. So I'm going to coat those in resin in a moment. But let's do this bit first so we can get in the oven and start cooking. Something a bit like that maybe. Let's try the green scale of things. And I'm thinking more like moray eel sort of vibes. We're a bit more, we haven't got to think about scaling it up. We're going to keep it quite slinky. Thinking of getting a bit like an underside. We'll deal with posing up and around there. Maybe with this one. We are getting something. I'll pop that back out for a second. Even though I didn't want it to have a bit on the bottom, I think it's going to be the best way to do it. So we need that to cook like that. Okay, this is cooked and fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to resin up these two individually and then resin them together. I'll try and do them both at the same time. I don't mind if we go over the edges just a tiny bit. So let's see. Let's cure those two. I'm going to keep this brush away from any light source because I don't want that to cure. I just want that to cure. So we're going to flash forward. Right. We're taking shape. Look at this. Got the tail fin done. And that looks pretty cool, right? And I wanted it to stand up. I was going to attach it to a stone, but I don't want everything to necessarily have a base. So I thought, what if I give it like, I think it's dorsal fins, the ones underneath. So now she stands up absolutely fine. I'll give you a little peek at the head, because I did manage to sculpt the hair. Just with, I used a bowl of boiling water, plunged it in and then held it. So it's got just enough sculpt going down. So we're starting to come together. Now, I was thinking what to do with this, because I want to bring the colour of these into the colour of this a bit. So I'm going to bring everything together a little bit with a thin coat of this, and then we'll come back and mottle with, I did a little test over here, with the sort of burgundy kind of shade. So I will start and then we'll flash forward. This is a bold move, but it's just going to bring everything together just a little bit. So it's not really going to do much to it colour wise, but it will start to make it look like it's all one rather than this and that stuck on. We're going to flash forward to that being on and dry. Right, whilst this was drying, I was thinking about how would be best to continue. So I was going to go in with a nail varnish now and do that sort of marble stippled effect with the cling film. But I think what's going to be smarter to do right now, means I'll need to handle it a bit more delicate, is to get the body attached to the tail and get the fin put down the back. I know I want the body right here. And I don't mind even if I've got to do it a little bit at a time. So that's what I'm going to do. We are going to flash forward. Right, body is attached to tail firmly. So that is the best way to hold it, because the tail is way heavier. Now, I made a start and I just, using a couple here, one here, I just glued the edges, resin, the edges together in hope that that's going to make it slightly easier, because I need to get this on here like this, which is going to be easier said than done. Let's just do it. Right, I think we need to cure this bit at a time. Torch job. We're going to flash forward because that's what I'm going to be doing a lot of. Pinching and poking, applying and curing. Right, we are all resined for the time being. I have nail varnish. I have some screwed up cling film. Let's just do this. There's only one way to find out if this is going to have the effect that I want it to, and if not, we're going to have a little thinking time. This is going to be quite a quick process, though this nail varnish doesn't dry super quick. I'm going to start on the tail tip here, put a bit on, dab it off. Let's see if we can get the effect that we want. And we can. You know what, we might be able to go all the way around. I can probably, arms positioned right, balance it. Okay, we're going to pause there and let it dry. That has definitely brought it all together. Okay, we are so close to being done. All I'm going to do with the face now is try with this very super fine paintbrush, is bring this colour to the lips and down these like chin/cheek grooves. If it doesn't look good, because I did splodge up the face here as well, the nail varnish remover takes it off fine without damaging it. So if we can do this and do it well. Yes. I don't know. Let's just close that for a second so the brush will dry out. Do we do anything around the eyes or not? Let's try, just as a little finishing touch. And then we're going to let it dry and put it together. And if it goes wrong, we'll take it off. I think we're going to stop there. So I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to put it together and see how it looks as a finished piece. Okay, we're all dry. Let's get the head on and see what we got. Now the head, from what I remember, wasn't easy to get on, but I could get it on. It's on Mermaid. That looks pretty cool. Oh, I'm going to have to work out how to get it to stand again now, because it's gone back heavy, so we're not quite done just yet. We've got to make a small adjustment somewhere, because it's just going to go whoop. Okay, we are very pretty much near stable, but the slightest poke and we're going down. And I don't want to keep adding to the tail, because it's going to start to, it's not going to lose its shape, but it's going to look like it's lost its shape, because it's just going to be so thick with resin. So I had a think, and what I'm going to try and do to sort of like give her a base, but not give her a base, and hopefully this will work, is I'm going to make it a bit wet around the bottom. Stay. So I'm going to make up a little bit of blue resin and pour it just around the base here. So we want to keep a bit of an organic shape. So that's why I'm just going nude on the silicone mat. And hopefully this will work. I'm going to build it up in a couple of layers. And I will paint on some around the tail. And I'm going to give her a little shell in her hand, since we'll have a couple of shells kicking around on the bottom. That's the plan. So let's mix up a little resin first. And hopefully this will do the trick. Right. we're just going to have to do this and hope that it works. We want more round the front than round the back. And I don't want to get anywhere apart from the bases. I don't want to get her hair, which I very nearly did, but I can't tie her hair up because I tried that and it throws her off balance. Well, we don't mind if the hair gets in there a little bit. I'd have liked it not to have, but I have, so, you know, gotta roll with it sometimes. Right, we're just gonna cure it and hope for the best. And then we'll do another layer once this is completely cured and we can lift her. Or should we save the lift until the very end? We'll decide in a moment. I think I should put one of these in now. Actually, we'll put both of these in now. Okay, fingers crossed. This works. Okay. Our mermaid, we're there, is done. Check her out. Stands. No issues, not going anywhere. And I think that was just a nice finishing touch. I did go over with a thin brushing of UV, not the face or the arms, but just sort of up around where the fishy area is. And since we've got the fishy area going in to the human area, I added it there as well. And she can still move her arms and her head. So yeah, really cool. Didn't know this was where it was going to go. This video started as trying rooting for the first time, which I think overall was a success. I know it's not perfect rooting, but for a first go, that is pretty good. And styling it as well didn't work out too bad with boiling water. I've also, I don't know if I can get this because I can't see where I am, but this is a piece, when I peeled her off the silicone mat, obviously it was still wet on the underside, so it had like a suction type effect. So we've got this really, really cool, almost coral-like edge to this random splodge, which I'm hoping is in focus and in centre there. It's hard for me to see. I'm still working on a good setup for this camera because it's so far up and I can't tilt, like I can tilt the visual screen up like that, but I can't tilt it all the way. So I can't quite see what you can all see until I go through editing. So yeah, as I was saying, it started out with a rooting, which has worked rather nicely, and it ended up being a cryptid. So it was a double. What do you think? Do you think that was a success? I like her. I have got... I'll lay her that way. There we go. Just have a peek, see if I can see that she's... I can't quite see. I think she's right in the middle there. When I was... because I can't remember at the back of the beginning of this video, so pardon myself if I'm repeating myself. I did find that there were 3 ways to root in the end. The way that I did today was with the rooting tool, where you like poke it and then scoop it in with like a little pronged needle. The other 2 ways, one is sewing it in, so I'm going to try that because I've got 2 more of these. So I'll try one for each way and then we'll see what they become. So one is sewing it in and then knotting it off and sending it back through there so the knot's on the underside and you get 2 roots at once. And the third way is using felting needles. So I'll try that as well and decide which one's going to be best for my bigger project. I'm thinking at the moment, I've only had this as a try, so at the moment I'm thinking this is going to be the best one for what I'm trying to do. But I won't know until I try the other 2. So that'll be the other 2 rooting videos. And they are possibly, one of them's going to end up as a cryptid for sure, because I already had that in mind before this one even became a mermaid. So we'll just have to see where the other 2 go. Well, the other one. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've liked which way it's gone. If you're new to rooting, I hope it's helped you a little bit. If you're old to rooting, by all means, give me some tips and tricks in the comments, because I will take it all on board and find it all very helpful. Like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all again so much. Take care and see you in the next one.